Hey folks, hope you're having a great day wherever you're at. Today is a Saturday. In a couple hours, I'm going to watch the Army-Navy football game. For those of you that are college football fans or football fans, that's always a fun game to watch. Really all the college games are over until the bowl games start, and then there's always the Army-Navy game, so I'm going to watch that in a couple of hours. It's always a whole lot of fun. Um, my dad was in the Navy, and I have a nephew in the Navy, and other people I know that have been in the Navy, so I'm going to root for the Navy midshipmen. Do you have goals and dreams but are afraid to show up and take action on them? Have years, months, if not years passed, and you're disappointed because you've really taken no action on your goals, on your dreams, on your plans, and you feel stuck, and you don't know why. Do you want to obtain the freedom to become your true self, the person you truly were meant to be? And that really is true freedom, to live from this person on a daily basis and to take action on your goals and dreams, and then to look back in months or years and be thrilled because you took action on these dreams or goals. So let me help you. Contact me for a free consultation to learn more about working with me in a one-on-one coaching relationship. And let me help you become unstuck and live from your true self on a daily basis. So today I wanted to pop on and talk about, how can a daily routine help you? As I think about mine, so I thought I would share my daily routine and really how it has helped me. I need the balance of silence and action. My best actions are birthed from silence. So really, obviously, one of my main daily routines is a twice a day centering prayer practice, which is a form of meditation. It's really meditation and a relationship with God. It connects me to my true self, the person I'm created to be. And I live from this person on a daily basis, and that's why I practice centering prayer twice a day. Once when I get up to begin my day, and then about midway through the day, I take a second sit. And this practice connects me to my true self and helps me live from my true self on a daily basis. And as part of the practice, I have bookends that I do, with stuff I do before my practice and what I do after my practice. I call them my bookends. Before I go into my practice, I have a list of affirmations. These are single sentence statements of goals in my life that personal, mental, physical, related to work, related to the work I do with silence teachers, work related to my family, friends, community, things I want to do. I read them, and then I let them go to God and take my centering prayer sit and let them brew with God. So that's really the bookend I do as I go into my practice. I think of it as I'm letting them brew with God, and God and I are partnering on these affirmations. And then the second bookend after my sit is I just read from a book that I'm currently reading. And let me talk about a little bit about affirmations. Affirmations, as I said, are single sentence statements of goals, things you want to do in various areas of your life. And for me, I have an affirmation barometer. Are they affirmations that should stick? And my barometer is if they excite me, I have an inner peace or calm about it. They move me out of my comfort zone. An affirmation should move out of your comfort zone in some cases. Fear is never a reason not to take on a new task. That's really how you grow. That's how you learn. That's how you move forward and do fun and neat and exciting things. And lastly, my affirmation shouldn't harm me and it shouldn't harm others. So really, if I'm excited about it, I have an inner peace and calm about it. If it moves me out of my comfort zone despite scaring me, and if it doesn't harm me or harm others, it's an affirmation that I move forward on. And not only do I recite my affirmations, before a centering prayer sit, I might do them throughout the day. If I'm driving in the car alone, I'm just saying them out loud to myself for a minute while I'm driving. Or if I'm somewhere and I'm alone, I can kind of recite them aloud. So they're always kind of at the top of my mind, my affirmations. And I even at times say them before I go to bed so that they can kind of move into my unconsciousness, and while I'm resting, they're brewing and they're working. Another very important daily routine for me, in addition to centering prayer, is gratitude. And I like to end my day that way. So before I go to bed, I actually just land on my knees and I thank God for the day. I look back and I just will acknowledge anything, small or large, that happened during the day. I love to end the day with gratitude. I love to go to bed with gratitude on my mind. So that's how I go to bed. I drop to my knees and I thank God for the day, for the small things and the big things, and just name them, call them all out as much as I can until I feel like I've called them all out, and then I go to bed. And another, I guess, routine is just, or the idea of, I read a book, The Gap and the Gain, and it just helped me think, I want to be living not in the gap, where the gap is you're always feeling you're not accomplishing your goals, you're in a gap. And it's better to live from a gain perspective, because you can look at what you've accomplished and look back and realize, the gains, you've made. And from the book, the book says if you focus on what you lack, you lose what you have. If you focus on what you have, you gain what you lack. When you're in the gain, you focus on what you've actually done. You measure your gains and use those gains to create more and better gains in the future. Every experience can be transformed into a gain. So I just love that idea. So I try to focus on the gains. What have I gained today? Not what am I lacking and what am I missing? Where have I missed the mark? But what have I gained today? What have I accomplished today? And that helps me, to propel forward. So that's another part of my daily routine. And then other things that are very helpful for me, walks. I take walks from time to time, not on a daily basis, but I take walks, and my wife might join me or my daughter might join me. I go to the gym a couple times a week, so that's definitely a very important part of my daily routine, to keep me fresh, to keep me energized, to keep me in good shape, to keep me thinner, hopefully. And a couple other daily routines, at night, coffee with my wife, Netflix or our favorite show that we might watch together, as well as just time with the kids and laughing and spending time with the kids, whether it's watching a movie or whether it's going to an arcade or it's going to a small town near us and just walking through it and having fun, or going to breakfast together or going to dinner together. These are all part of my routine. So that's all. I thought I would just kind of call out, what is my daily routine and how much really it helps me and serves me. It helps me replenish, reset, reconnect to God. It helps me move forward on my goals, but it also helps me, get closer with my family with some of those other activities as well. So I hope you found this helpful, and more importantly, what are your routines that you do on a daily basis that help you, whether it's with your career or with your family or with your friends or with your community or with your mental or physical health. What are your daily routines that you do that help you and serve you and help you just move forward and just have a wonderful life that you're meant to have. So thanks for listening, and I hope everybody has a great rest of the day wherever you're at. As I said, I'm going to go watch the Army-Navy game in about, I think it's on in about an hour and a half. So much love to all of you. Take care, everybody.